by clicking the link in the stream's description. The professor wants to hear from you.
Beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul, good car.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back, I'm focused on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Isn't it lovely?
Welcome, and thank you for joining me today. I am Professor Bear, and this is a Bear's Thought. And before we get started, I have to give a quick shout out to all of my sponsors. We're going to start with Chops, Cards, and Print on Demands. Now, if you need a card, a personalized card, you can go to them and they do some of the amazing work. Then let's go to Tag Team Toys and Collectibles. They are your spot in East Tennessee. If you want anything wrestling, this is where you need to go. And finally, we have Nirvana Comics. Again, in East Tennessee, they are the best when it comes to comic books. They have so much different media forms there. They do wonderful work. And over above me, you see a QR code. If you click that, that would take you to their website. So I am super lucky to have great sponsors. Now, today's guest, she is an amazing worker that I wanted to give a spotlight on, so not only you can learn more about her, I can learn more about her, because the things I've seen, it's been amazing. So all of y'all with me, welcomes. I told you I was going to mess up your name.
That's okay.
Zondra. Nope. Jesus. Will you pronounce your name, please? I'm so
Absolutely.
afraid.
Zondra Lee.
Zondra Lee.
You
How are you
got it.
doing besides me just butchering your name? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Super embarrassed and feel like a low life. But besides that,
It's
one
all
thing
good.
we
We're
do have in
learning.
common, my middle name is Lee, so I wasn't going to mess that up.
There you go.
So, as I always, well, first of all, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So, what I always love to ask my guests, the first question is, how did you fall in love with wrestling?
Yeah, so that's going back a couple years, but what got me to love it was honestly just my dad. He would always watch it whenever he was, making supper or anything. So I would just kind of like watch over his shoulder. Um, but it was just indie wrestling, honestly, that got me to love it. Like, I knew about the WWE, but I didn't grow up watching it. It was all just indie wrestlers. I know that's kind of backwards from what most people are. It's more WWE, and then they do the indies, but for me, I was the opposite, and it was indies to WWE after that. But yeah, it was honestly just my dad watching it all the time, and then I got into it around like 9, 10, I really started watching it, and then by 12, I knew that I wanted to be a wrestler, and started looking ever since that day when I decided and told my parents, like, "Hey, can I be a wrestler?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." They didn't think anything of it, and then I just kept going, and then eventually, like, hey, I got into school, so yeah, it just went up from there.
So, with that being said, you're definitely right. It's definitely different to hear someone start off loving the indies before they find out about the major companies. What indie promotion was around your area that you got to learn about?
So there wasn't, like, much, actually, like, indie wrestling shows, like, in my area, so I would watch it, like, online. The main, like, company that got me into it was Shakara Pro. I don't know if you know of that one, but, like,
Yes.
Mike Quackenbush, he owned it. So that was, like, the main one that I watched and got me into it, and then, um after a few years, my dad found out that there was actually a wrestling company like just the next town over, which is like half an hour or whatever where I was from. And then I started going to those ones, Northland Wrestling, that's the promotion. And eventually I ended up talking to the promoter, and later on he started a school where that's actually where I started training. So it all kind of just came full circle with that. But I didn't the first wrestling show I went to ever was Smash Wrestling, but, before that, it was just watching it online on YouTube, on whatever I could find it on.
Um, what was the attraction to Shinkara for you?
So, because, like, as I was, like, a little kid, like, I was younger watching it, so what really got me to love it was, like, all the masks, like, all the luchadors and, like, all the, weird and, like, unorthodox gimmicks. Like, I loved everything about that. It was more like just a silly, like family friendly, which got me to absolutely love it. But starting out, I wanted to wear a mask. I wanted to be just like all of them. It didn't end up happening. But that's like it was just that little kid um fun matches attraction that got me to really like Shakara.
Okay. What how old were you when you first started training?
So I actually started training at 15. Um it was kind of a um gray area where he wasn't like my trainer, Dan Jarrus, wasn't sure because he had never trained somebody like as young as me. So he's like, okay, well, I'll train you, but you're not going to wrestle until you're 18 type thing. I ended up having a match 3 months later. So, um, yeah, he changed his mind really quickly. So I've been training and wrestling since I was 15.
So I'm gonna take it that you must have blew his mind with the training he was giving you to get you a match at 15.
Yeah, I would say so. Like it was definitely a surprise for me because I wasn't expecting that, and like I struggled a lot with just confidence and just like being able to be in front of people. So then when he decided to give me one, I was just very taken back, but like as soon as I got in there, I like fell in love with it and I realized like I love the crowds, like, I love being in front of people, you know? So, it was surprising though when it happened.
Um, I can imagine that the biggest smile in the audience wasn't you, it wasn't your trainer, it was your mom and dad.
100%, yes. Yes, my dad. Like, my mom, she's not really into it, but, like, she supports me, but my dad is absolutely loves it, like, number 1 supporter for sure.
That is great. So, how long have you been wrestling now?
So, I wouldn't, like, say I've been, like, actively working, until the point I was, like, um, I would say 17. I've been, like, more, like, all over the place just 'cause, like, at, like, 15 and 16, it's like, yeah, you're okay, but, like, people aren't as just 'cause of your age, they're not as comfortable or, like, maybe there's, like, issues with insurance or whatever, and they just don't wanna take that.
Right.
So, I didn't really get into it until, like, 17, and then I started working more shows, so I'm gonna say, like, actively working, it's been, like, 2 or 3 years, coming up on 3 years, like, actively working shows.
So, with that being said, do you feel like it was a good thing that you had time to adjust to the business that from your first match and you couldn't get matches, but do you feel like it help you grow and to understand some of the psychology with the wrestling?
Yeah, absolutely. I do think it did help because like even though I couldn't work shows, I still would go and like help out or like watch and that in itself helps you learn like not being right in the middle of it, but just seeing how things work. Like for me, I'm a visual learner. So it's like people can say things, but like I need to see it happening. So then just watching how people do things definitely helped me learn things quicker than and like being able to understand it by the time I did eventually get put in that position. So I do think that being like starting at that young age and then just going around definitely helped to get me to where I am at now in the way I can perform and just understand how things work.
With that being said, what would you classify your style of wrestling as? Are you a high flyer, ground based?
Yeah. I'm kind of like always trying to change it. Like I am trying to get more into like the high fly stuff. It's a work in progress, but like from the start and even like right now, I would say more like power moves. I know I'm not like the tallest, but like I definitely do like doing more of the bigger moves. So definitely strong style, I would say is where I'm at currently, but I'm just like trying to expand that to mat wrestling and then like again the high flying things. So we're always trying to expand, but right now I just say strong style.
Which I think is very good, just in the fact of learning different styles and being able to adapt is always, to me, one of the best traits that you can have. That way, you can take on any opponent.
Exactly, yeah.
So, with that, who in your short career, who is the biggest, and I'm not talking about size just of stature. I mean, not stature, but just as popularity. Who is the biggest person you've been able to face so far?
Um like sorry, of popularity, like biggest name I faced?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Um I would say I would say it's like 3 of them. So I've wrestled with Masha Slamovich, Hollyhood Haley J. She's like all over the place. And then Jody Threat, I would say are like the big 3 I've wrestled. Yeah, I would say those are like the biggest 3 names I can pull out there.
And those are three big names too.
Yes, I've been very blessed and lucky with those opportunities. So I'm always happy when I get to, or like humbled when I get to wrestle or work with somebody who's like so far like ahead and just above me. It's like you get to learn so much from it, and it's yeah, it's just it's always fun and yeah, I love every opportunity I can get.
Um, do you, oh, not do you, but have you had a chance to do tag team wrestling?
Yeah, I've had a few. It's not really um my style. Like I'm open to it. I haven't like found somebody who um I would really like pursue a tag team, like actually like pursue that as like together. Um I do have like a mixed tag partner with one of the guys I had trained with at my old school. So like we do that every now and then, but it's like it's intergender, so it doesn't really there's not a lot of that out there. So it's like we do it
Right.
every like few months or whatever. But I have done I've been thrown in there with just random people and then like had like friends do it, but it's not I haven't had like a actual partner where we came together and we're like, hey, we want to do this. But it is something I'm open to. It's just I haven't, like, really clicked with the right person yet to make it a thing.
Right. So I'm gonna ask the $1 million question. Have we won championships yet?
We have, yes. I have had 2 championships. I've won, like, one of them twice. Like, I won it and then lost and won it again, but, currently, I hold the championship in Northland Wrestling, so the North Star Championship, and then I had won one in Michigan, UPW. I held that one, but unfortunately lost it a few months ago, but so right now we're sitting at 2 wins. I'm hoping to make that, a couple more before the end of the year, but we'll see what happens.
Please tell me that your father was there when you won the championship.
He was. Yes, yes, it was. I won it in a
And-
ladder match, so he was
oh
very
wow.
he was very excited for that one.
So do you have to have conversations with your dad that you are the wrestler, you are trained, he can't jump over the barricade, you'll be okay.
Um, I don't usually have to like, he's usually pretty cool with it. He is a paramedic, so, like, he's always, like, watching in case I, like, get hurt, and, so he always, like, gives me that look. Most of the times I, like, try and, like, trick him, because, he says I'm pretty good at selling, so we can't tell what's what, but, like, I've gotten better at actually, like, letting him know I'm okay, so he's not, like, on the edge of his seat. But no, he's pretty good with it. He likes, because he knows I love it, so then he likes seeing me being able to do the types of matches that I like. So whenever it's like, really big bumps or like hardcore or anything like that, he's like all for it. But it's just always giving me that look that I have to give him the signal that I'm okay.
Of course, because I have a daughter and I couldn't imagine sitting there. As much as I know about wrestling, I could not
Mhm.
imagine sitting there and something happened and I wouldn't be thinking to myself, I'm about to jump over this damn banister. They're not gonna do my baby like that.
Mhm.
So um how many states have you been able to wrestle in so far?
So I've actually only gone to 2. I've been to Michigan and then, Buffalo. I do wanna try and make it more, but also, like, it's just I don't wanna push it and then, like, accidentally do something wrong there, so it's just like, you play it by ear, but I definitely am open to working in more states if I get the opportunity, but it's not, like, high on my list right now to do. I wanna make it to, like, all the provinces first, and then, we'll expand to the States, but I'm definitely open to going out there whenever I get the opportunity.
So, with you saying that, what am I wrong? Then you're Canadian.
I am, yes, I'm Canadian.
Okay, I didn't know. So that makes a lot more sense now. I'm like, wait a minute. She said Buffalo as a state.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay, well, I didn't wanna say, like, New York because I know, like, Buffalo is, like, way far from, like, New York City, so it's like,
right. No,
"Oh, I
no.
wrestled in New York." Like, "Oh, really? Yeah, Buffalo. Oh, that's not New York," you know, I've had that. It's like
Well,
so
and I didn't realize that you are Canadian. So that's even cooler, I think. Um, so who were the or well, who are the wrestlers that you um look to help with your style of wrestling?
like, role models, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. So that's always changing. Like when I first started, it was like a lot of uh Japanese wrestlers like in New Japan. I still love watching them. But like my big one that I absolutely love and like try to take things from is Rhea Ripley. Um she's I know that's like kind of like a normal answer, but like I love that girl. She's absolutely amazing. So I try and take a lot from her, like, just I like how, aggressive she is and, like, the way, like, everything she does just looks absolutely brutal. So I try and, like, learn from that because that's what I wanna do, and that's how I kinda try and, um, initiate and perform my moves. But, yeah, Rhea Ripley is definitely the top for that list.
That's cool. And is your answer is perfectly fine because anybody can have, I mean, anyone can be a role model. It's not that you had to pick anybody, it's what inspires you. So that was a
Mhm.
perfect answer. Um, with that being said, how many do you have any upcoming events that you're looking forward to?
Yeah, so I actually have a couple, this weekend, I'm going out to New Brunswick again, which is awesome. I always love going out there, um and it's just a couple around, like, where I live. But then next month, from the 4th to the 14th, I'm actually heading out to Mexico for some training. So that's, like, kind of the big thing I'm looking forward to. But, um but yeah, just, like, a couple shows around the area where I'm from, and then New Brunswick, and then we go up to Mexico, so that's my main thing I'm excited about.
That's cool. That's cool. Um, are you open to maybe going to Japan in some point of your career?
That would be an absolute dream. Again, like, 'cause I kind of started watching it, like, when I first was introduced, I would watch stuff from Japan, so, like, it's always been something I've wanted to do. Even before, like, I was into like, decided I wanted to wrestle, I've always wanted to go to Japan, so to be able to go there and train, even if, like, I didn't obviously, I would love to wrestle, but even just learning and, like, spending time out there training, that would be an absolute dream, but to wrestle there, like, would absolutely blow my mind. So, I would definitely be open to that.
That's cool. With that, with you saying real inspires you a lot, what is the thing that you do that helps keep your drive alive for what you do? And what I mean is, what keeps you saying, I love this sport? I love learning. What is it that drives you with that?
That's a good question because, like, definitely that is something that a lot of people go through where it's they question or just kind of get in a groove or a rut of it. So for me, it's definitely the fans. Like when you're in the ring, or even just like um standing on the side and people are just talking to you, seeing it's the little kids for me, like the little girls especially, this that almost shyness they have when talking, and it's just like that light in their eyes is like it's a really cool feeling knowing that you can have an impact on people like that. Because I know for me as a kid, watching and seeing that other women were doing it, it's like, "Oh, well, I can do that too," and then having girls come up and say, "Hey, I wanna be a wrestler just like you," it's just like it's a really cool feeling, so I would say, definitely the fans and the energy you get from that, and then just trying to remember, like, when you don't really wanna do it or, like, you're just tired, just remembering, like, what it's like when you're actually in the ring and performing, you can't really beat that with any other adrenaline. It's addictive when you're in there, so it's just, trying to remember those, um, moments when you don't wanna get up from the couch and go to the gym. That's honestly, that's it for me.
So, and you brought up something that is really I find big, especially in this day and time, is being a role model and having the fans just gravitate to you. Um, is it something? Of course, it definitely means something to you, but is it something that you didn't think about when you were trying to get into the business, and that now you're in it and you're doing it, that you understand that it's not just you, you're carrying the hopes of little girls everywhere, little boys, uh, hell, old men like myself.
Mhm. Yeah, it definitely wasn't something that I had even thought about, getting into it or growing up. It was like, in my mind, it was just, "Oh, I get to do this, and then maybe people will watch me," but it didn't click that, "Oh, they're actually going to watch me, and things I do might actually affect some people," and then, like, when I got into it and, um I remember the first time I had gotten, like, a little gift from a kid, and she had just, like, written her name on a piece of paper, and then it says, like, "I love Zondra Lee," and it just absolutely melted my heart. I'm like, "Oh, I actually can have this effect on people," so it was kind of like an eye opener at that point because it wasn't something that had clicked in my brain, that it was just like, "Oh, I go out here, I wrestle, people cheer, they boo, and that's it." But it's more than that. So yeah, it wasn't something that had even crossed my mind getting into it.
So, have you thought about what goals that you have in the next few years that you're looking to achieve?
I mean, like, honestly, the end goal is to get signed, like, that's, like, where I wanna take this. But just, like, even little, goals is just I wanna win another championship, I wanna go to another province or, maybe even another state, but just, like, wrestle somewhere new. That's always a goal for me, but it's just I set like just small goals for myself where I hope that I can get this by the end of the year or by the middle of next year. But definitely the end goal is to get signed, whether it's with a smaller one or the big times. It's just that's where I want to eventually go. So it's just working to get that to happen.
With that, have you have you thought about where you are today versus when you started? Have you thought about the hard work that you've put into it? Are you satisfied with what you've done so far, or do you think, okay, it's okay, but I can work harder to do more?
I mean, like, I go through motions with that where it's like, oh, I should be way farther than I am. But then it's like I take a step back and like look at my age and it's like, actually, I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would do when I was first starting out, you know? Um, so it's like it's up and down for me, but definitely I am proud of what I have done in my short career and by the age that I am right now. Like I know it's not I know other people have gone like above and beyond like at this point, but for me anyways, I am happy with what I have done, but there's always more that I want to do. So, yeah, it's like it's a 50-50. I go through it, but deep like overall I am happy where I am and with what I have done, but again, it's just pushing for the next level, the next step I can get to.
That's beautiful. So, if you received the call right now and they're like, hey, we want to set up this match with you and this person right now, who would it be?
If I could go with anybody, it's gonna be the
And
same answer as a role model. It would be Rhea Ripley. Like that is my dream match. Like being able to wrestle her, even if it was um like a dark match or just something that to warm a crowd up and I take a boot and then take the riptide, I'd be happy. Like honestly, but if I could like wrestle anybody in the world, it would be her. 100%.
now this is going to be more of a silly question, but
Mhm.
right now you get another phone call and they tell you their champion is hurt and the champion requested you to come over and take over for them. What title would it be?
I mean, if I could get any, I wanna go right to the top and I'd want the world title. Like the women's world championship, yeah. If I could just get that easy, 100%. Um, yeah, honestly, yeah, world title, I'd like that.
So, do you have any merch that you
I
sell at?
do. Um, yeah, I have like, the main things, the t-shirts, the 8x10s, the stickers. Like I am always wanting to like come up with more ideas and like, just something different. But, right now it's just the basics, the t-shirts, the pictures and stickers. But eventually I want to like, get pins or like the keychains or something, but I just gotta figure out new designs that I want to do, but it's always thinking of new things I can do.
Right. Well, and the reason I ask this is I want you to tell me the biggest moment that a fan got your merch and totally marked out.
Oh, um, had a few instances. Some have been a little weird. Um, but it was this little girl, and she was like, she really wanted to get something, and she just saw my t-shirts, and then she's like, just basically jumping up and down to her dad and asking to get one. And I didn't think I had any more in her size, and I was looking, I didn't have any, so I'm like, all I have is a medium, and it was like swimming, like it would come down like past her knees, and I'm like, "Are you sure you want that?" And she's just like almost crying. Is like, "Yes, I do." So then I gave it to her. I saw her just wearing it the rest of the show, and I'm like, "This is this is the cutest thing ever." So, but that little girl was 100% my favorite markout. Like just basically wearing a dress because I didn't have any more smalls, but it was cute.
So did it put you in the did it make you think of why you love the sport of wrestling for that moment?
Absolutely, yeah, it just knowing that somebody was that excited that they would get something that's like twice their normal size is like it was a really cool feeling, yes. So 100% it was one of those moments.
I love hearing stories like that. Um, have you had any negative experience with promoters so far in your career?
I've had a couple, like I'm not gonna name names, but
Right.
there
No,
have
no.
been.
No, I was gonna say no. I don't, because you never know. You don't want to have to go back over that bridge and like, oh well, I saw what you said about me.
Exactly, yeah, but um yeah, like things have happened and it's just like, okay, no hard feelings, but you go your way, I'll go mine, and we'll just call it as it is. But like normally, if I have an issue with somebody, like, I'll still like I will work with like really anybody. It's just as long as we can um keep it professional. I'm cool with it. But yeah, like you learn how to work with people whether you agree on things or not. But I haven't had like two, like I've had like a handful that it's been friction, but normally people are great. And yeah, but it's only been a handful for sure.
And that one of the reasons why I asked that question is because being real, women have a harder time in wrestling than men because um, some people are. Okay, I was trying to think of a classy way to say this, but some people are just assholes, and I, especially with where women are today and doing such an amazing job and getting the chance to show that they are just as valuable as men. Um, I always like to l- touch on the fact, whether you've had it or not, a bad experience, that is getting better for the women athletes out there.
Oh yeah,
And
100%. Um it's come a long way, the women's division. So yes. But no, it's been good for me, honestly. Like I haven't had anything, but yeah, women's wrestling has really changed over the years.
so, what is your craziest match that you've had so far?
The craziest match. I haven't had like too many like no disqualifications or anything like that, but I'm gonna say the craziest just for situation and like what was going on was probably my match with Masha Slamovich. So it ended up being it was in a cage and it was supposed to be like a kind of like a tornado tag, and we were supposed to be partners, but then things happened, flights got canceled and all that stuff, so it ended up being a triple threat with just um another girl, and it just Ava Brooks. um so it was like this whole thing that, okay, we're doing a triple threat now, and then we were told like 30 minutes beforehand that it was gonna be a tag match again. So it's just like we were all like we didn't know what to do, and we're just like, praying that, okay, please just let it be a triple threat because it's like emotions everywhere. But it ended up being a triple threat, which was interesting. But that was probably the most hectic and um yeah, just nerve-wracking match I've had just going into it. So I'm gonna say that's like the craziest one I've had.
How how comfortable do you feel when you wrestle in a cage match?
Honestly, I find them a lot of fun. Like I've had a handful, but there's so much you can do in there with the cage, and it's just some of them aren't like the best cages, but still like even if they're not like really good ones, they're still just like fun to do and like plan in like all these spots. Like, so I if I get a chance to wrestle in cages, I 100% will because I don't know. I've just always liked that look and the visual, and then being inside is even better. So I like them.
That's cool. So I know you had talked about intergender matches. Have you had a one on? Have you wrestled men one on one?
I haven't done it too many times, but I have before. I am open to them, like as long as they make sense and like are actually like believable. I won't just like, you know, go in there with the guy who's like 300 pounds or whatever. But I am open to them and they are fun. But I can't say that I've had too many. I've had like 5 or 6 probably. Um, but like it doesn't like it's not something that's uncomfortable. Like I grew up and I would was training with guys because I was, the only girl who was in it. So I got accustomed to that. But yeah, I haven't done too many matches that are intergender, honestly.
Okay. Um, I guess my last question for you is: besides getting signed, besides being a world champion, what do you think you will be doing in the next 5 years? Where do you think your career is going to be at?
Honestly, I can't say that I have I know where it's gonna go, but where I want it to be is I want to be actively working in the States. By the time, like at least in 5 years, where I have a few states under my belt, like I want to be able to actively be performing in the states on a monthly level. So that's I can see that happening by 5 years. Um, whether that's with a bigger promotion or it's just by myself on indies, but definitely working in the States more than I do.
Well, I want to thank you so much for making the time for me. I know we had little issues, but I'm so glad that you made it. Uh,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for doing what you do. Thank you for giving us wrestling fans something to look forward to and to be proud of. I hope and think that you are on the right path of where you can get any and everything you want out of this business. And I hope that you succeed, and I hope you continue to get the flowers that you deserve and hear them before it's too late. I feel like a lot of people do not get to hear how well they're doing and how well people enjoy them until it's too late. And for myself,
Mhm.
I pride myself not to do that and to give credit where credit is due. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. And yeah, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. And I do know it was tricky there, but thanks for being patient and working with me. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And you have an open invitation anytime. I would love to talk to you down the road and see how close you are to winning that world championship. And I can say, see, I knew her. I knew her. See, I still can't pronounce her name, but I know her, damn it.
Okay, sounds good. We'll
All
definitely
right.
have to do that.
Guys, girls, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really a great interview. It's been really fun. Um, I always try to leave off with a positive message. And this positive message is something I always do all the time. Support local wrestling. You do not know who you may have in your area that is starting and later on could be a world champion. And you can say you were a part of that journey with them. And I promise you, I think you will have more fun at indie shows because it's cheaper. You get to interact with the wrestlers, and it's a nice family feeling, even for promotions that are not family friendly. It still gives a great vibe, and you have so much fun. So please, please, please continue to support our indie wrestlers in the area that you're in. I am Professor Bear. This has been a Bear's Thought, and we will see you around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all have a great evening.